FLOSSTUBE friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Chris. Today is Monday, September 1st, 2025, and I'm here to share my stitching with you from the month of August. August was a pretty quiet month as far as stitching went. No dramatic new starts, no finishes, no FFOs, just, my focus projects and my weekly whips, that type of thing. And I sort of upped my sewing a little bit this month because I have a couple of fall retreats that I'm going to be a vendor at. So that's ate into quite a bit of my stitching time as well. So, but I do have some progress on my projects that I worked on. So let's jump in and I will show you. So let's start with my focus projects. So my first focus project is my oldest whip. It will look like this when it's finished. It's called Walk with Dog. It's charted by Artisy, featuring the artwork of Leonid Afremov. This project, I try to put 400 stitches every week into it. Sometimes I'm successful. Sometimes I get more than 400, and some weeks I don't stitch on it at all. But I'm trying to chip away at it little bit by little bit. So I'll put a picture up of where it was the last time you saw it, which it wasn't a hoop, so you can't see the entire thing. So maybe I'll put up a picture of where it was the time before when it wasn't in a hoop. So just so you could get a little bit better idea. But here is where it is now. So I was able to bring my, I'm kind of working in like rows across, kind of like you would read a book. So from left to right, and they're 20 stitches high. And I'm just sort of, picking a color and filling in wherever it occurs, and then picking another color and just working my way across the whole piece. So I did manage to complete that row that is 20 stitches high. So a lot of yellows. So it was over in this area that I was finishing up. And I think there's two sessions where I thought, oh yeah, it doesn't look like there's much left. I'll be able to finish this row up. And there's a lot more stitches there than you think. But so I think this is about 25%. I'll bring it in a little bit closer. So yeah, the colors are just amazing. It's pretty incredible. So down in here, this is the top of a building, and I think I carried some colors down in here. I think these are going to be windows, or one of them might be a window in a building. So yeah, so now I'm going to get down into more than just leaves and trees. So next time I work on it, I'll come back on this side and start across again that 20 stitch high row. But yeah, Walk with Dog. I probably, since last time I filmed, I think I've put in like over 1,000 stitches in it. Maybe even like 1,500, somewhere around there. So that was my first focus project. That's my oldest whip. My next focus project is a gift that I'm stitching for my sister. It's called Weimaranner. I'll put a picture up of what it will look like when it's finished. And then a picture of where it would have been the last time that you would have seen it. I try to stitch on this every week, usually at least one day, sometimes more than one day, depending on my mood. I actually did do the math because I was thinking I'd kind of like to give it to my sister for her birthday, which is in October. So I did the math of how many stitches I have left and how many per week I'd need to do to try and finish it for October. So I need to do 800 stitches a week, and I'm not doing 800 stitches every time I sit down to stitch it. So I'm gonna have to make some sort of an adjustment, whether I extend that and give it to her for Christmas, or if I try to start stitching on it more than one day a week kind of thing. But anyway, here is where it is now. So yeah, he's looking so good. You can see his ear in there now. So I'm at about 75, 76%, I think. It looks like I'm almost done, but there's still 25% to go. His ear's pretty big, like it comes over to this left side a little bit more. Your right, I guess. But yeah, he's looking so cool. So I'm excited. I'm excited to try and get him done because I'm really looking forward to giving that to my sister. So so those were my focus whips. So let's talk about my weekly whips. So the first weekly whip that I worked on was Jingle Bell Christmas Tree Farm by Victoria Sampler. That's what it will look like when it is finished. Full of specialty stitches, specialty fibers, beads. I am making some minor changes just to suit me and my style as I go along. I'll try and share those if I can remember what I did. So I'll put a picture of where it would have been the last time, which basically was the top. I had finished the top, what I call band, where the cabin is there. And so then I went down to that next kind of band with the trees and stuff. So here is what it looks like now. I don't know if you can be able to see. Yeah, it's not nearly as dramatic in the camera as it is in person because you can't even see the beads at all. But there are beads and the snow up in the top band. There's some Krynic in there, so it's kind of sparkly sort of thing. So, but you can see a lot of those specialty stitches. These ones are specialty stitches in between these little trees. You know, underneath these trees are specialty stitches. Down here are specialty stitches. There are beads in these trees. So one of the things I changed, they had one tree in sort of these silverish, clearish beads and the other one in gold. And I decided just to stick with the silver for both because I just thought it sort of represented kind of like icicles kind of thing. I think they also, on one of these trees, had some red beads. I haven't decided if I'm going to put those on or if I'm just going to leave them the way they are. There's a cute little bunny there. These trees were really fun. These were queen stitches, I think. No. Is that right? Yeah, queen stitches. So those were really fun to do. And I like the ombre effect of the color that was used. So yeah. So that's the second band. So the next time it comes around in rotation, then I'm gonna start working on this band with the reindeer, and that tree kind of comes up. That's why there's that little space over here is where the tree comes up in the next band. So I'll do like this part and these trees the next time, and the old Christmas tree the next time. And then I'll do this one the next time, and then all of this, which is going to take a while, but so yeah, step by step, we'll get there. So yeah, so that's Jingle Bell Christmas Tree Farm. So yeah, if you happen to be new, welcome. So my weekly whips, basically I have my whip list in chronological order and I just keep working through the list and working on them. The last couple of years I had done different things with my rotation and some of my whips didn't get touched at all. So I figured this way I'd try and touch every one this year. But we'll see if that even happens because I did take a bit of a break from stitching. So I don't know if I have enough weeks left in the year to stitch them all, but we'll see what happens. So my next weekly whip was Hard Frost. This is what it will look like when it's done. This is a Heritage Crafts chart. It's featuring the artwork of John Clayton. So this is one of these other ones. I think I mentioned in my last video when I did that silhouettes chart. It was also from Heritage Crafts. And they have these odd half stitches that aren't what we traditionally think of as half stitches. It's just one leg of the X. They make an X in half the space that you would make a whole X usually, but that's what gives you like the shape and the definition. Like this little brown horse back here has a lot of those squished half stitches to give him that shape that he is. But I didn't get a whole lot done on this, and I did quit mid stitch. So there's a big white thread hanging down. I was working on all that snow. I'll put them on this side. So I can put up, yeah, I've probably already put it in, but the before picture of where it was the last time you would have seen it. And again, the way I often like to work my full coverages these days is just in a 10 stitch column approximately, and just work my way down. And I do park my threads as I move down in that column. That way I don't end up with a ton of park threads just within that column kind of thing. And I just find it easier to manage and more relaxing to stitch that way. So yeah, I got what, like 2/3 of the way down that column. So yeah, so that is Hard Frost. My next weekly whip is actually a series. It's the Birds and Berries series by Tell an Emblem, and I've actually stitched 3 out of the series. So this month I pulled out the 4th and final one. So this is the Indigo Bunting. So I was able to get him started this month. So I don't have a before picture of where he was, but this is where it is now. Always such fun colors that Chris Ann uses in these charts. Just very different, very striking. So yeah, and these are just really fun to stitch. I love them on this. This is 32 count raw linen, which I realize I haven't been telling you what counts fabrics were. So if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask me. But yeah, I love all these stitched on this 32 count raw linen. The colors just pop off there, and they're just fun to stitch. They're nice blocks of color. They just stitch up quite quickly. So I do hope to finish that one fairly soon. We'll see. And then my last weekly whip was Cute Kitten, which will look like this when it's finished. And this was a pattern that I got off of Etsy. I'll link all of these down below. I do apologize, I didn't bring my cards with me that have the designer name and that type of thing, but I will link them down below if it's something that you're interested in and you want to go and check out yourself. So here's a picture of where it would have been the last time you saw it. And this one also did not get a ton of stitching. I think I only worked on it for one day. But yeah, I was working up here, sort of starting to fill in this ear, and then the same thing. You can see my carried threads on the back. It's a mess, but they'll all be covered up with other stitches eventually. But yeah, so I would start the colors up there in the ear and then just work them down through the rest of the pattern as they appear. But yeah, so still made significant progress, I think. So this is on a 25 count ivory Lugana, 1/1. And yeah, it'll be a long-term project. There's no deadline to get him done. I'll just work away on him whenever he comes up in rotation. So that's actually it for all the projects that I worked on this month. Just the 6 of them, the 4 weekly whips and the 2 focus projects. I guess I'll move on to WhipGo. Again, if you're new, I was using WhipGo this year to sort of motivate me. I just realized now you probably can hear that would be Remy. That would be Remy. Sorry, I do apologize. He tends to play a lot in his crate when you put him in there, so it can get quite noisy. Just he tosses around the things we give him to chew on in there. So I apologize if that was a little bit annoying, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. So yeah, Whip Go. This year I was using it to motivate me to fully finish some of my projects that I've finished in the past. I started out the year really good, and then in the spring I kind of took a break from stitching and filming and everything, and so that just kind of got put on the back burner. And yeah, this month I still haven't tried to fully finish anything. Again, I've really been sewing like a lot, like full days of sewing, 6 or 8 hours a day some days. So I just haven't had the time to sort of think about that. So I'm not giving up on it, but I'm not stressing about whether I get them done or not. So they're there. I don't even know which ones were called for the month of September, to be honest. So I may try and do it again next year. I don't know. We'll sort of see what happens, but so I guess then the next thing I was going to share with you is haul. I did purchase one item, which I forgot to bring, so I will go grab that right now. So I'm back. So yeah, I purchased, finally, Emma Condon's Cross Stitch for the Earth. This is not a new book. You've probably all seen this before. You've probably seen a lot of people stitch and finish projects from this book. But it's one that I've always liked, and I've seen people stitch things. And recently I've been watching, I've been watching some videos, some floss tubers that I've subscribed to. I like to go back to the beginning and watch their videos from the start. So I've run into, some people actually working on patterns from this book, and it just inspired me again. I thought I'm gonna pick it up. So yeah, so I got this in. So I'm not gonna do like a flip through or anything, because again, it's been out for a long time. But if somebody's interested and wants to see a flip through of it, if you haven't seen it, then let me know and I can do that in my video next month. So that's haul, and that's all. I haven't purchased anything else. I guess sewing, because I have been doing some sewing this month. I thought it'd be fun just to show you a couple of bags that I've made. So I had picked up a couple of lines of fabric to make some patchwork bags. And I've kind of been doing this thing where if you buy a charm pack, I think that's what they're called, they're the 5-inch squares. There's enough squares in there to make 4 of the patchwork bags that I make, with some extras left over, which I kind of like because it allows me to mix it up on some of the bags so they don't all have the exact same squares on them. And then I buy 4 fat quarters from that same line to be the backing fabric of the bags, and can quickly make myself 4 patchwork bags. So that's what I did. So the first line that I bought is this Sandalwood by 3 Sisters. So it has a lot of these sort of like navies and teals and peach and rust. So I just kind of like gave a nice fall vibe to me, sort of thing. So so this is just one of the 4 that I made. This is the blue, one of the blues. So that's kind of fun. And then the other line I picked up was A Very Sweet Christmas by Bunny Hill. And I just really like this line because the colors are the non-traditional Christmas colors of these minty greens and pinks and reds and sort of the darker fuchsia type pinks. So I just thought those were really pretty, and some grays in there. This one's really fun. This is the pink one, and there's these cute little penguins. It's technically not really, really Christmassy, other than, yeah, like you could say, okay, those are poinsettias, and these penguins have strands of lights, but otherwise it's just sort of a pretty floral bag, to be honest. But so yeah, so that's sort of what I've been sewing, amongst many other things. So yeah. And it's actually felt good to get back into sewing. I haven't been doing it for a while, and I've been enjoying being able to make and create some stuff. So that leaves us with plans. So what are my plans? So one exciting thing coming up for me is in a couple of weeks, actually less than 2 weeks, I think maybe 10 days or so, I'm going to my annual fall retreat that I go to with a bunch of my friends. It's just a private retreat that we go to at a little Mennonite camp kind of thing. And so there's somebody there that cooks our meals for us and stuff. It's very rustic. But yeah, it's fun. It's the same group of people from year to year, and we all get along really great, and we just have a really great weekend hanging out, stitching, eating some great food because our cook is amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. So because of that, I am going to do a new start this week. I should get on it soon because I did finally decide, I was waffling for a while, that I will participate in the Smalls Exchange. So I need to get that stitched so that I can finish it, kind of thing. So yeah, that's going to be fun. So that's part of my plans for this month. And I think the other thing I'm going to do, because I really want to get Weimaraner done, ideally I'd like to get it done for my sister's birthday. I'm going to set Walk with Dog aside for now and not focus on it each week. So that will give me another day, technically, that I could work on Weimaraner to try and get those 800 stitches in every week to get me to a finish before her birthday so I can frame it and have it ready to give to her. So I will pull Walk with Dog back out after I finish Weimaraner and keep trying to put in those 400 stitches every week in there. So and then so then my next 4 weekly whips, whether all 4 get worked on this month, one of them might have to carry on into next month, just with the retreat in there. I don't know what I'm going to take to the retreat, but I'm just going to take whatever I feel like stitching on. I'm not going to worry about which one has come up in the rotation that needs to be stitched on. So, but the ones that are due to come up, the first one is Thunder Ridge. This is a out of print dimensions kit, which is hard to find. It was gifted to me by my friend Dina over at Half Stitch Cross Stitch, but now she's changed her channel name to Sit Stay Stitch, which I think is great because it's perfect for Dina. She loves sitting and stitching with people, and she loves her pets. You know, Coco, her dog, is a big part of her family, and I think it just ties it all together, and I think it's a perfect name for her channel. So Dina had been gifted, I think, somebody's D-stash that she could share with her. She has a stitching group at their library. So she had gone through it and found some horse charts or horse kits, I guess technically, that she thought of me because she knows I love horses, and she had contacted me. So one of those that was so exciting was Thunder Ridge, and she kindly gifted that to me, and I am eternally grateful to her for that because it's a very hard chart to find, and if you do find it, it's very expensive. So thank you again, Dina, for thinking of me. So that one I'm really excited to get back to. It's been a little while since I've stitched on it. I think when I did first start it, I had I'd made a counting error and I had to take quite a bit of it out. I hope I don't run out of floss, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. So I'm looking forward to pulling that out later today and getting started on it. So the next one I'm going to work on is an old Janlin kit called Forever Wild. This is actually a series. There's different animals I think that you can get. I think I've seen bears and I've seen lions. I forget what other ones there are in the series, but this was a horse one that I picked up on a D-stash kit for like $5 or something. And it's pretty close to a finish, so I'm hoping I'll be able to finish it this month when I pull it out to work on it. The third one I'm going to be working on is my Anna Green Gables Sal. This is through the Stitching Book Club, or Sapphire Mountain Crafts, I believe, is the designer who's the spearhead of the Stitching Book Club. And this was a gift to me from my friend Barb, and we're stitching this together, or at least we started it together maybe. But yeah, I I'm looking forward to working on that too. The colors in it are just so pretty, and I'm really excited to get to that full coverage part of Anne, but I might make myself wait and do all the other all the other components first and save that full coverage for the last. But and then the final one that's coming up in my rotation is the Prairie Schooler Christmas Village, which I started a couple of years ago, I think. And again, just a really fun, relaxing stitch. Nice solid blocks of colors. I love the color palette. I'm kind of an earth tone, muted colors kind of person for the most part. And at least that's the way I like to decorate my house. It is fun to stitch with things that are bright and colorful kind of things. So, so yeah, so that one's coming up too, but that one might not be worked on until October. I'm not sure. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But anyway, I thank everybody for taking time out of your busy day, your busy lives, and stopping by to visit with me. Let me share my stitching with you. And I hope to be back in September, the end of September, to share what I've accomplished this month. I'll tell you a little bit about my retreat. I can share my small with you at that point, because I'll take a little, either some photos or a little video clip to share that with you. And until then, see you later. Bye.